Welcome back, everyone, to the Okali Film Room. Chris, Becker, Sudeep, Tumma. We're going to break down 3 plays from the OSU's 24-14 victory over Baylor. First play here, 6:30 left in the first quarter. OSU with a 7-0 lead, facing a 3rd down and 6. Spencer Sanders is going to drop back after getting the snap, fire under heavy pressure off his back foot to a waiting Baylor defender. Sudeep, break it down.
Yeah, you got 6 Baylor guys here matched up on 5 offensive linemen for Oklahoma State. So it looks like they have the advantage. But, Baylor disguised. They dropped 2 guys in coverage, and you got 4 guys coming straight at them. So theoretically, Oklahoma State should be able to pick it up. But Baylor does a great job disguising it, and 45 gets right through. Linebacker comes straight at Spencer Sanders, like you said, throws off his back foot, and becomes an errant throw. So let's go back and just watch it real quick. So 45 gets at him, throws the errant throw, and Riley Tejada, the cornerback, picks it off. So first thing we'll watch is that pressure right in the middle from Bryson Jackson, I believe, the linebacker. So the way Jalen Warren's kind of going toward the right, he looks like he's trying to pick up number 5, Dylan Doyle, and all the 5 linemen are going to pick up each one of these linemen. That's, again, my speculation. But you watch Hunter Woodard, number 70 right in the middle at the right guard position. When you got 52 and number 5 for Baylor, they both drop back in coverage. You got 4 guys. So Hunter Woodard, so from right here, right, you got 4... essentially 4 on 3 linemen, but because the 2 guys drop back, everyone gets kind of confused, and 45 gets right through, and Spencer Sanders throws that. So, but obviously he's under pressure. He has to throw it off his back foot. So you're going to watch his feet real quick, right? He has to step back real quick. Those last few steps are very choppy, and he doesn't get his foot pointed the right direction, steps back and throws that off his back foot. And, a lot of times guys with big arms like Spencer Sanders can get away with not having footwork, like we've seen Mahomes do so many times, and they just rely on their arm. But this is where these kind of passes happen. And now let's look at the second angle for the whole thing. So when Baylor drops those 2 guys, they get into a cover 3 look, which you'll see about right here. And Riley Tejada is going to sit right there between where I think Spencer's looking to go to Brennan Presley. So now Oklahoma State right here, they're running a high-low concept. You'll see Tay Martin go underneath, Blaine Green, Brennan Presley run the high side. And as Spencer looks to the left, as soon as he takes the snap, he's trying to get that ball out quickly. He knows he's going to be under pressure. And Brennan Presley's running just a little out route against, not Christian Morgan, the other safety, right to the out route. And I think he thinks Tejada's going vertical to Rashad Owens, or maybe he's trying to throw it over the top to Owens and isn't able to get there. But either way, he's not able to make the throw. He wants to because of that pressure right in the middle. So you watch Brennan Presley goes out, and Presley's got a big cushion, so theoretically he should be there. But as this coverage goes and as the linebackers drop, there's a hole there. He's trying to fit it in, not able to. And Spencer throws it right off his back foot, isn't able to get enough under it, and also is throwing right into coverage, right? And I think this is well covered by Baylor. And Tay Martin's run under, so that's really the guy you're looking for. But when that play is going by so fast and you're not able to process fast enough, you got pressure in your face, you got everything going wrong for you, that interceptor is going to go right out and throws it right to Tejada. So it looks like a horrible pass, which, I mean, it is, objectively, but there's so much more that happens into it, right? And that's why you give Spencer another second or 2. This is why time is so valuable. And interior pressure is the absolute worst in the NFL because the quarterback, it can step up in the pocket if it's around the edge or it can do something or another. But when it's coming right at you, it's very hard to navigate. And even with a guy like Spencer's, legs, he's not able to and just throws it right out there.
Right, great form tackle here from Brennan Presley. A little Hunter Renfro-esque from last night, huh? But, like you said, he's trying. I'm still not sure who he was trying to hit, if it's for BP or if it's for Rashad Owens. But either one, it didn't get to either one of them.
Yeah.
He was under heavy pressure again. Like Casey Dunn said, I know you mentioned this in our first take that, did not save. But he was trying. Casey Dunn said there's a lot that goes into an interception. And that's true. That's what a lot of the, I hate to use this word. It's such a cliche and so overused. But the casual fan really sees an interception, like, oh, well, that's bad, But there's so much that goes into it. He was under very heavy pressure. Baylor played great defense.
Right.
And, it's really credit to Baylor and less of a knock at Spencer.
Yeah, it's a mix of multiple things. Obviously, it's like the pressure's coming from the middle. It's a disguised coverage. And even if it's disguised coverage, even if they see it, even if Spencer Sanders, I'm not going to sit here and think what Spencer Sanders is thinking because I'm not Spencer Sanders. But obviously, you don't get as much time to process things. You don't get time to make the throw you want to. And that's why a lot of times you see mistakes. And when you're playing a zone coverage anytime in football, your hope is always the pass rush needs to get there before, a hole opens, because holes are always going to be there in zone coverage, no matter what. but you want to get the pass rush there faster. And Baylor just does a great job here. Hunter Wood obviously gets confused with where that pass rush is coming from, leaves the guy open. And again, that's not just on Woodard. That's a whole offensive line thing, right?
Right.
And early on, we saw some of those mistakes. Last season, early on, we saw a lot of those mistakes where the line just wasn't in cohesion. They're mostly in that sort of cohesion this year, but a mistake or two happens, and here it's very consequential. Ball goes out and ends up an interception.
Right. You mentioned looking at Tay Martin, he was open, but it's hard to go through your reads when you have a guy coming right up the middle, and especially when Tay Martin is open over the middle, you're gonna have to look and throw right into that guy. So you run the risk of it getting knocked down or him hitting you first and it resulting in a fumble. We're going to watch the rest of this play one more time and then move on to the next one, which happens to be the next the ensuing drive after the interception. 3rd and 10 here. Like I said, still 7-0 OSU. Gary Bohannon is going to take the snap. He's going to roll out to the bottom of our screen and be chased by Tyler Lacey, who's lined up at the bottom of the defensive line, and then he'll be chased around and eventually brought down for a sack.
Yeah, so the main thing here is Tyler Lacey, right? Setting the edge really well. So you're going to see it. First of all, watch the play. Bohannon's on a bootleg, play action fake to Abraham Smith, the running back, goes around, has a couple guys looking for it. It's either a QB keeper or just a play action pass where he's going to just find a receiver out off that misdirection. And usually on plays like this, what you'll see most of the time is when the run game's kind of working, you see the entire defense shift that way, and then he has a wide open receiver to hit to. But over here, Tyler Lacey does a great job. And let's go back to where he does it, right? Setting the edge. This is something that OSU struggled with, or I shouldn't say struggled with per se, but they were so aggressive last year that so there were so many plays where even a guy like Trace Ford would just, where Tyler Lacey is right now, he would just go straight in. Calvin Bunger would just go straight in. Even Tyler Lacey would just go straight in and try to make a play, tackle for loss. If it's -3 there, it looks like, wow, this is a great play. But here, you're just disciplined, you keep that edge, and you watch Tyler Lacey. He's just waiting in case there's a cutback by the running back, in case there's a bootleg, which it was. And right there, he has his eyes on Bohannon, chases him down, redirects him, and now it's just the swarming nature of this OSU defense. They're a great tackling unit. They're so athletic, great sideline-to-sideline speed, and here you see it. Then you got 1 guy, 2 guy, 3 guy, and you bring them down.
Right, and I think what's really impressive about this is how far Jarek Bernard Converse runs this whole play. He starts off on the top side of the line, comes back to the bottom, and ends back up at the top. Right. So he's chasing Gary Bohannon the whole time. And that whole top side, the play doesn't get made in the middle after Gary Bohannon rolls back if that top side doesn't hold up over there too.
Yeah.
So the whole play really well executed from Oklahoma State's defense here. And we'll go on to the next play here. We'll watch this one more time.
Yeah, you see Bernard Converse and just he gets all the way around. He's chasing. He's
Israel Antoine again, the guy we mentioned I think every film room almost. Yeah. So this next play, going to the third quarter now, Baylor about the same spot of the field, facing a 3rd and 12 this time with the OSU leading 14-0. He's going to take the snap. He's going to try to scramble forward, QB draw. Doesn't even go through his reads, really. It's clearly QB designed to run. But Colin Oliver, he's met by Colin Oliver and eventually Ben Kapinski for a sack, a tackle for loss, whatever.
Yeah, this is a great this is just QB draw all the way. Number 65, left guard for Baylor. He's the guy you're going to see him let go after a second. But first, yeah, it's 4-man pressure, but an interior twist, interior stunt by the 2 guys, Jaden Jernigan, Tyler Lacey in the middle. You see them, they're not pinched, they're widened out, so that middle is missing. But on a 3rd and 12, it's an obvious passing situation. So, yeah, run the play. The 2 guys, the 2 Baylor linemen, they're double teaming Tyler Lacey because 65 is going to let go in a second, and he's going to go upfield for when that QB draw happens. Like you see Bohannon go up, but this is just really well designed by Jim Knowles, defensive coordinator. But watch Jaden Jernigan, number 42, right? You got that stunt, and then 65 lets go, and Jernigan on that stunt, he's going to go right around Tyler Lacey. Lacey's going to crash left, and you watch Jernigan goes right around, and he's right there. Now, you got those other 2 guys you mentioned, Ben Kapinski, Colin Oliver. 2 guys were having an excellent season. Kapinski and Walk-On has been having a great impact with all the injuries. You watch him here and just watch the raw strength, right? Pushes him off and goes. Has 1 guy to redirect him. Then watch Colin Oliver. We've seen all the speed, all the rip moves with the athleticism he has. But here it's just the power. Pushes him back and is waiting. And now you see Kapinski redirect him. You see Jernigan redirect him. And Colin Oliver brings him down along with Kapinski.
Right, and that a good play all around. Like I said, Colin Oliver, Ben Kapinski, both having great years. Colin Oliver probably I forgot who else, but one co-defense player of the week for OSU, given out by Mike Gunning, Jim Knowles. But that's all we got for you guys today. We thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks when OSU takes on Texas down in Austin.